What's going on, everybody? It is 11:47 a.m. It is Wednesday, September 1st, 2021. Happy Hump Day. We are in a brand new month. The news is rolling in like crazy. I'm going to touch on some TA stuff, some brief Ripple news, and then just show you some YouTube stuff too. So you can kind of see my tab layout here. It's not going to be that long of a video. Make sure you follow me at True Perception 3 if you are on Twitter. If you're not, you should consider joining, and then you can follow me then. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, here we go. So make sure you like this video. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop something. Yeah, I got a ton of videos you can go back and watch. This is yesterday I did like a live that showed a live Twitter feed of the Ripple SEC hearing, which was a bombshell in favor of Ripple. We'll talk about that in just a second. I go over like the transcripts as they're coming out in this. If that's of interest to you, you should go check it out. Yeah. Tonight, I will be linking up with this gentleman. His name is Tyrone, and this is his channel, and he has some pretty awesome content. It's totally different than mine. There's no crypto or anything. It's a little more traditional investments. Not saying his style or his way of thinking is traditional necessarily. Just saying some of the stuff that he's talking about is. It's not all digital and new. You know, it's great stuff though. I'm lacking in that territory, so we are talking about maybe potentially making this a thing and doing some more stuff together, some more collaborations. I think we both have a lot to offer one another and one another's following, so we will see how that goes. I don't know if we're going to just record the video. We might go live. I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll go live, see if we can get some people in there. If it is live, it will be happening at 8 o'clock. So if you get a notification around 8 o'clock, might be us. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. And then before we get into too much, this is a video from my other YouTube channel, which it doesn't have subscribers because that's not how I use it. I typically post photography videos for, you know, maybe a real estate client or some sort of interior client, and then the occasional portraits that we do every now and then. And a buddy of mine, Daniel, who owns, you can actually find everybody's information down here. This is Daniel's link tree. He runs Split Image Productions. This is my photography's Facebook and Instagram, and the model, whose name is Amber. This is her Instagram. You can check her out there if you want. You can check him out there, and you can check me out. This is only a 55-second video, or 54. I thought it was 55 for some reason. So this isn't going to take real long, and just check it out.
We're going under. There's nothing we can do. The final hour before we let it go to rest. It's such a heartbeat pounding in your chest in this story.
Backlash written on me, God rubbing on my passport. I've been ballin', 3 my lyrics in me coming down. I'm already out, already on the countdown. I'ma set it right. Got the backlash written on me, go running from the pole, and it's on me. Don't know which way we're going now, I don't wanna know it. Might as well be going down, I don't wanna know it.
We're going under.
Yeah, just a quick little video, you know, nothing major. Let me just cancel that so we don't have all that noise in the background. That is what I do full time, guys. I am a photographer. I shoot anything and everything. If you want to see any of the photos of Amber, some of them came out really nice. They will be, I'll probably be done editing them in a couple days, and they will be on my Instagram and my Facebook. Maybe I'll throw a couple on here. I know most of you guys don't really care about that, so if you want to check it out, just go follow me on those outlets. So getting into yesterday, here is a brief summary, by Crypto Law US. This is John Deaton's law firm, of what happened at the hearing. And as you see here, summary of the hearing. The SEC failed thoroughly and completely in asserting blanket privilege on the documents it has repeatedly been ordered to produce, which it has not. Judge Netburn will proceed to the ruling on the DPP assertion on each document sometime shortly after September 28th. So this has been extended slightly, but there's a twist to this, guys. We've seen BitBoy keeps coming on Twitter and on YouTube, and he says he's got these sources saying this thing's going to wrap up in September, this, that, and the other. And I've kind of been like, well, what are his sources? I still don't know if I buy that. Like, I don't necessarily trust somebody on YouTube. He's got over 1 million followers. He's doing a great job. I'm not taking anything away from the guy, but I just don't know how legitimate these sources or what he's saying is. I just don't know. But leaning into the idea that September could be the end of it, listen to this. And I'm going to paraphrase this slightly. Judge Netburn has ordered an in-camera review of the SEC documents sought by Ripple. She has ordered the documents with a public letter brief without a lot of redactions from the SEC, responses from the other sides, and will then rule on them. She adds that her ruling should indicate to the SEC whether other DPP assertions were or were not proper, and that there may be other documents it will need to produce. Netburn and the parties agreed to an exchange of letter brief and responses by September 28th and asked for minimal redactions from the SEC in the letter motion, and she will rule as quickly as possible. So for those of you who don't know what an in-camera review is, I had to look it up just because I wasn't familiar with the terminology. If you've seen like the recent OJ on Netflix, they kind of did the OJ trial, the one with Cuba Gooding Jr. in it. They show it happening in there. The judge can take documents that have not been entered to the court when there's objections and stuff. They can review them in their chambers. These are usually sensitive documents, and then they make a ruling on what will be allowed to enter the court and whatnot. So that's very, very interesting, and you guys got to think about it this way. This is how, well, I'm not saying you have to, but at least entertain this line of thinking where I'm coming from. The SEC has been ordered to hand over these documents 2 or 3 times by the same judge, has refused to do so, and it comes up in court every time, and she reorders and it doesn't happen. Now they pretty much have to hand it all over to her, and she's going to see a lot of things. And I'll be honest, maybe they're just playing hardball and not turning it over to Ripple because they don't want to have to abide by that, and they think that, they're super righteous or something. Excuse me. But I like to think that they're not turning them over because there's something huge that they don't want to be seen regarding Ether, regarding Bitcoin. Ripple's now demanding to know if any of these people have ever or were holding XRP and trading at the time of this whole thing. What did they do after? They're claiming none of that's relevant, but they claim everything's not relevant. The judge does not agree, and I'm telling you, if there is anything half as damning in these documents as some of us like to think, especially as I like to think, there's no way they're handing these documents over to the judge. I feel like this could be the straw that broke the camel's back. So September could be a wild month. And it's interesting because we know news events and stuff like that, they love to line up with the charts. And as we head into September, we're going to talk about some charts real quick. Here is Cardano, has blasted through all retracements and is up here just hanging out. It's doing great. It's been chilling at this level for a little while, but I don't think anybody holding Cardano is upset about that. I only have like a handful of them, so it doesn't really matter to me, but I'm still happy for the performance. We have Algorand here, who I haven't been covering, and I've been pulling on my fibs from May 8th instead of the top. That is when everything really went crazy because of Elon and everything, so I find it interesting to see what things are doing on that timeline. And what I found here, you see, after it capitulated, it tried to come back up to 50% a couple times, got rejected down to the red, did its thing, and then it came all the way up here to where? That's right, the 618 got rejected, didn't really lose the 38, and is now making its way back up, and it looks like it's going to try to make its way back up to here. So I'm going to start watching Algorand a little closer as it begins to recover. BNB is another one that has came up, popped into the 618, and is consolidating right underneath, but maintaining the 50%, which is extremely bullish to me. I mean, if you draw a trend line on this thing, on Binance Coin, like, I don't really do trend lines, but you can go back. I mean, all the way to here, this thing's been trending up on a macro scale forever. I mean, most of them have, but you can see where that type of thing looks like it's forming here. It's kind of like this long, drawn-out thing, and sometimes those make me more comfortable than straight shots up. Bitcoin, as we know, nailed the 702 and continued to reach for it and is consolidating right around the 618. We're going to see what happens there. I would love to see a decoupling and all these altcoins just rage and Bitcoin stay right where it is. But that might not be what happened. I think they'll still rage if Bitcoin goes up because more money will FOMO into the space. One of our leaders that we have been waiting on, Ethereum, has finally reached out to touch the 702 today. This will be the first time since the major drop. It has not made it back up to here. It's been stuck between the 618 and the 50%, and here it is. I mean, it's there, guys. So this is Ether will be another one that's very telling. I would love to see the Ether pop. I would love to see Ether pop more than I want to see Bitcoin pop, to be honest. I think it would really drive some price action for the assets that I hold. And speaking of assets that we hold, just remember, guys, there's no financial advice here. It's not tax advice. It's not investment advice. Sometimes there's some personal growth advice. Don't buy or sell anything based off what you hear here or read here or any of that. I'm not telling you when to buy or sell. I'm not telling you what to buy or sell. I'm never going to do that. I don't do price calls. You know the deal. God bless America, where you have to tell people that you're not telling them what to do because people seem to not be able to think for themselves. Moving on, we have Kava, who, as we see, when we had the first dip, it came right back up to the 786. It was ready to rage, and for whatever reason, it rolled over. You saw it get stuck down in here and range pretty heavy for a while. It's gotten above the 702. It has stayed above the 702, and I mean it's right below its previous all-time high. But I mean it looks like it's not like losing its progress really that much to me. This looks pretty normal. Everything seems to be consolidating sideways right now. We all know about Solana. Well, what's interesting about Solana as it continues to crush all-time highs every couple of days. This thing reached out beyond the 2.618. So, I mean, you could be seeing a full extension getting up into this range as it clears some of these fibs. I mean, maybe not, but it is interesting to see it continue to smash through these fib levels. We're going to be keeping an eye on that also. That's very telling. I mean, there's some money. You can see this giant red candle, too. It's being brought right back with a nice green candle so far today. Here's the entire crypto space trapped underneath the 702 and staying on top of the 618 and just waiting for something to happen. Love it. Very similar situation, but you guys know this is my favorite chart, and this is the altcoin market cap. And as you can see, we have breached the 702 for the second day in a row. We did breach it back here on the 23rd of August. And then we smacked it again on the 24th. Tapped it again on the 30th, broke it yesterday, came back down and lost it, and now here we are hovering right above it right now. So this is where stuff happens, guys. Be paying attention to your stuff. If you got any leverage tokens or any collateralized stuff or anything like that, I would just do your due diligence. I'm not telling you what to do, but just go look at your stuff and make sure you're in a position that no matter what happens over the next couple days, couple weeks, whatever it might be, that if something unexpected were to take place, just make sure you're prepared to handle that. I don't want to see anybody get wiped out because people are starting to shoot laser eyes all over Twitter again. I'm bullish, but I'm also in a position to where it would have to be a very significant crash for anything to affect me in a negative way like that. So just make sure you're doing your job. We have VeChain, which I have not been covering much, but pulling up VeChain, we can see ever since the crash happened, it did punch up above the 786 like it was going to just completely recover, but like everything else, it rolled over. Couple bold bounces on the way down. It went up here and tapped almost the 786, got rejected, has stayed above the 50% this entire time, and here it is again, just poking up above the 702, and this candle's looking pretty good to me. I mean, already in a day, you're looking at 11%, right? Well, I guess I could have just looked right here, but so we're going to start watching VeChain a little more too. That is something I hold, something I am very bullish on, and apparently so are other people today. Here's XDC. You guys know all about this. R3 Quarter Settlers, primary internal token. I just realized, I think... Oh, never mind. Somebody's mowing the grass. Anyway, XDC, it tried to get in, and this is a prime example. Sometimes you get in these ranges and you think it's going to pop, and it rolls over. Doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Hopefully, if it does roll over, you always hope that you get back into the upswing and everything and don't continue to get bared out. But you can see here, it went all the way up and slapped this Fibonacci on its way up. Has gotten rejected, is still hanging out right below its previous all-time high, but still looks pretty good to me. I mean, it's, I think a lot of assets seem to be doing that. And of course, we have XRP, who has slapped the 702, came back down to the 50, broke the 618, back to the 50, and is now in that same range again. We saw this thing rage right before the hearing yesterday. If you go watch my live, you'll see it. It got up to almost 125 in the middle of the hearing. It was just going, or right in the beginning before it started. It was going crazy. But that is going to do it for me, guys. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Everything's doing what we've been talking about. I don't really like getting on here and being super repetitive. And I haven't seen any news that's major enough in the crypto space at large that has me rushing to my computer to do anything. So with that being said, I will talk to you guys on the next video. If there's anything you guys want me to cover, put some stuff in the comments. Join the Facebook group. We've got some guys talking over there now. Shout out to Gen Z. He dropped me a tip yesterday. Nobody's ever tipped me through YouTube or my Facebook groups or any of this stuff. That was a pretty cool feeling. I do appreciate that, man. I know everybody's strapped, so for anybody to come off of any assets, and hook somebody else up, I think that's a super big deal right now with everything being taken into account. And yeah, just let me know what you guys want. This is obviously an XRP heavy channel, but it's not the only thing out there. I mean, I like everything you see right here. I'm pretty bullish on, so let me know. See you guys.